We have some breaking news that we are jumping into this episode right away to add because we just got done recording the episode, but you're going to hear this first thing because it is some of the biggest news that will come out not only this week, probably this month.
Probably
maybe,
for the year.
I would say it's going to make at least top 10, maybe top 5 of the year. We just heard that PSA's parent company, Collectors, has officially bought out Beckett. Not only did we hear this from the news, but I talked to Ryan, the president of PSA, just got him on the phone. He is wiped, as you can probably imagine, with everything going on. He did give me a few notes that we can talk about real quick. Essentially, they are committed to keeping Beckett. So they love the brand. They love the history behind the brand. They have no plans of shutting this down. I asked him specifically because, in the non-sport world too, especially TCG, it's like the Beckett Black Label is a big deal.
It's the big. That's the
biggest grade that you can get in any card at this point as far as resale value goes. And they are not taking that off the market. That will continue to be an item that you can get your cards graded with Beckett and get that Black Label. As far as, the reasonings behind it, other than them loving the brand, they loving the history of Beckett. They also were very straightforward. Ryan was very straightforward. Capacity is an issue with grading right now as far as PSA goes, and this just adds on some additional capacity that they can take on. So PSA is jumping even deeper into the grading world with this acquisition, them now having SGC and Beckett. It's interesting because we're seeing a lot of what's the word when you consolidating? There's a lot of consolidating in the hobby, whether it's fanatics with multiple different licenses or Beckett Collectors.
I would call it something different.
Well, I appreciate you being willing to listen to the news without making any judgment calls as of yet. Because here's my thinking: people will hate it. They will absolutely hate it. I think there will be people that appreciate the fact that now their PSA cards that they've been sending in to get graded will get faster turnarounds, which hopefully that may also mean they're going to bring down pricing because inevitably you raise pricing to slow down the influx of demand. It's going to be really interesting for all those graders out there who have been like, well, we're no longer sending cards to PSA. I mean, I say all those. I think there's been like 3 shops that have publicly posted, but they're like, well, we're still going to send to Beckett and to other people. It's like, well, you're going to want to double check your stance on all that. There is a definite consolidation of grading companies. And in the sense of being able to provide a faster turnaround time, I think there's a lot of benefit to it. There's a lot of systems in place that Beckett simply did not have access to. It was the same thing with SGC, but we also see what happened, with SGC. They're still there. It's just there's not as much demand for it. I do wonder, what does that do to the Beckett demand? Does that also change as far as how many people are sending in? So this is news that we're just now getting wind of. We're hearing the first initial details. There will be a lot more to come. We wanted to make sure that we got this out there because as of the time of the recording of this podcast, which is Monday afternoon, that's when this news first came out.
Broke.
So the rest of this episode is fantastic. We have a lot of really great detail about some releases, One Piece, new record set, all that good stuff. So please stay tuned, listen to that, and we'll see you on the next one. Welcome to Hobby Nonsense. I am your boy, Sports Boy, along with my co-host, Solar Ray. How the heck are you, Ray?
I'm doing good, Jesse. I'm a little sad, a little disappointed for today.
Why do you say that?
Because my boy John Cena had his last match on Saturday.
Are we saying John Cena?
I say John Cena.
Okay, fair enough.
John Cena. But yeah,
I saw some of the video. Here's my
some
question.
Of the video, some of the match.
Well, no. I didn't watch any of the match. I just saw some of the video, like some of the posts, some people on social media, things like that. I saw. It looks like he lost. Is that
he did lose?
And that was kind of assumed because he was no longer going to be involved.
I don't understand why the big hoopla is like a lot of people are complaining that he did lose. tradition as a wrestler, a professional wrestler, is that you want to go on your back. You want to go out on your back looking up at the lights, losing.
That's a thing.
That's a thing. Because what you do is you want to give the next person the rub, the accolade of defeating, because next week you're not going to be there. What's the point of you winning?
Okay, so all right, I can accept that. So, eventually, if you leave, if you
Gunther
retire,
that beat John Cena, he can always now say, hey, I'm the one that tapped out John Cena. It elevates his brand. It elevates him as a bad guy. He said that he made John Cena finally give up, gives him street cred, and then you have a babyface come in and defeat, kind of like a get back, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, he took off his boots in the middle of the ring like all great wrestlers do when they do their last match.
Is that a thing too? Man, wow. Okay, so a little WWE to start our episode out with that I did not expect. I totally forgot that I had seen anything about that. I will say, though, John Cena is a class act. Heck of a guy. He will be missed from that arena, I'm sure. However, WWE's loss is, I'm sure, the entertainment world's gain, because I can only imagine that now frees him up to do more things, whether that is DC universe related and or anything else. I feel like we'll see him a lot more in card format and just TV show, movies, things like that.
I'm excited. Did you see?
Pretty cool.
Did you see the new Street Fighter trailer?
I saw that it came out. I did not actually watch it. I was never really. I wasn't allowed to play Street Fighter when I was a kid. That one was too violent.
Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Did you play Mortal Kombat?
No. See, I wasn't allowed to play fighting games.
You definitely didn't play Mortal Kombat, but I didn't know maybe they.
No, I could. Well,
some sort of
so
weird rule.
when I got a little older, me and my brother would still be playing some fighting games, but it would be like stuff on Dreamcast, and it was like Capcom and things like that. So
Marvel versus Capcom.
There was some of that, and then there was also like, on Dreamcast there was a lot of like, I don't know, they're games from Japan and stuff that my brother would always find and play.
Dreamcast.
Yeah, Dreamcast one of the most underrated systems.
Way ahead
of
the game.
I absolutely could not agree more with that statement. But yeah,
Street Fighter.
Yes.
2 wrestlers that are in there. Cody Rhodes playing Guile.
Oh, okay.
And Roman Reigns is playing, I forgot the name of the character, but yeah, both of them are in there.
That's kind of cool. That's exciting. Well, you know what? Speaking of, this episode is going to be fun because we got a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah,
we've got a guest joining us. We had a lot of demand for One Piece lately, as Ray can attest. Besides Pokemon being so hot right now, One Piece is having its moment in the sun. And it may be so hot right now. One Piece, so hot right now.
He's so hot.
But One Piece is going through the roof in a lot of different areas, both in wax, individual cards. So we've got someone who actually knows more about this. They're going to be joining us, ELZ Cards. We'll have them on in the next 15 minutes.
I'm excited because, a lot of people are leaving the Pokemon hobby.
Oh, I've seen the memes.
And going into the One Piece.
I've seen like the posts about like, set up one day as Pokemon, and then like the next day that's just like, yep, I've always loved One Piece.
I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it.
Not a fan of the ditching.
You know how I feel about going where the money is.
You're not a fan.
If you're not passionate about a certain thing.
Well, that is something else we're gonna give an update to. I'll lead into that in just a moment. But we've got a number of both release date updates, hobby records. Fanatics Live for Ray and I has been updated as well. We're going to talk about that and many, many other things. If you can see my sheet, there's a lot of check boxes and a lot of things to discuss, and that's not even all of it. So to get right into it, since we're already talking about wrestling, before we move off that topic, on Friday when I was doing some of the Galaxy breaks, the Star Wars Galaxy breaks, I'll talk more about that later, but I started it out with the fact that I had just, like when I started the show, I had just gotten a delivery of both a case of Labubu and 4 boxes of BAPE, the Topps WWE BAPE collab.
You know what BAPE is?
No idea.
So BAPE is short for Bathing Ape, is a Japanese streetwear brand.
Oh.
So they came up around like the early 2000s, like 02, 03. Mm-hmm. They have like this famous camouflage BAPE pattern That's
is
made
that it?
popular by like hip hop artists and influencers at the time.
Okay.
Some of those, dude, my boy Dwayne.
Dwayne The Rock?
No, not him.
Oh, okay.
But when he was in college, we ended up going to the mall at UTC, and he pulled the trigger on a hoodie, a BAPE hoodie. He paid like $600 for this BAPE hoodie.
Oh.
Later, we found out it was a counterfeit.
Oh my.
Yeah, but no, I digress. But yeah, so BAPE, really famous. You know, they had the collab with WWE. They released some shirts. The shirts are like $300.
Oh, wow.
It's ridiculous. You know, they have shoes, all that stuff. You know, Soulja Boy did a song. I got me some bathing apes. You can.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
is
you can check that out.
Oh, I'll be streaming that puppy all night long.
Yeah. So, dude, I didn't know there was only one pack in the box.
So it is 5 cards in a pack, and I got 4 boxes. The only reason I got 4 boxes is because when I was talking to somebody about this, who I trust their opinion in wrestling very much, he was under the impression like, oh, these are like cheap cards. They're not going to be like all that worth it.
Guys.
I didn't. I did. Well, I you know, and I'm not going to go into it. I did not ask you, and I apologize for that. That being said, I had an order for like a case of them, and I was like, you know what? It sounds like it's not going to be great. I canceled it, and I just stuck with like another order where I had like 4 boxes. That I think was a mistake because these seem to be very popular, but not just because of like the demand. They're popular in the sense that when we opened our very first box, so I decided I was just going to go ahead and sell them. I purposely bought them just to resell. I wasn't as into it at the time. Now that I've actually seen the cards, I take that back. I am into it. The cards are much higher quality than I had expected. They're a thicker card. And in the very first box, I pulled the Dominic Mysterio 1-of-1 auto for one of the guys in my breaks.
Dirty Dom.
Here's the thing. It's not an allocated product, so no one can say like, oh, it's, you know, influencer cases or something like that. But I will say my name was all over that order request, so they may have just seen the name and said, hey, well, let's send it. Either way, whatever it was.
Dirty Dom's on fire
The
right
Dominic
now.
Mysterio
He
1-of-1.
is the future of WWE.
That was insane to pull. I think that product is actually really cool, so long as it's not like crazy priced. Like I was moving the boxes, I think like $170, which I think is what a lot of people are selling them for right now. Dude, I'm curious if that goes up.
I can't get into I get it from someone that opens up Pokemon and, you know, like a booster box, 36 packs is like $200.
Yeah.
So for me to spend like 100 and something on one pack,
yeah,
bro, like for me it's so risky.
But here's the thing, you've got a lot more cards that are going to sell for much more than what you paid for. Like in a Pokemon pack, you're going to have like maybe a few cards that'll do that. This case, you're going to have a lot more options. So that's where I can understand it as far as differentiating. But all that being said, the BAPE product was very cool. The Labubu product, here's the thing about Labubu. I got these last week, and it says it's not released until this week, but I got it straight from the website. It was not one of those allocated products. So I could open it whenever I wanted to. There was no restriction there. I ended up I sold all 10 boxes because I got a half case. I got 2 half cases that makes 20 altogether. So
20 is a full case.
20 is a full case, but I didn't actually, you know, you can order a full case. I was not able to get one when it came out on release. Gotcha. So I ended up ordering 2 different orders of 10. That being said, the boxes are the most premium card box that I've opened all year. I waited. It's a 1.5 pound box, just the box alone. It's like a humidor box. Like it's very nice as far as the outside goes. It feels like the seal is just perfect. It feels almost magnetic, but I don't believe it is. It's just like it seals just right. There's only 1 pack in there. The pack has 5 cards again, and then on the other side is a card holder that has a 1 touch in there, and then it's got a little keychain attachment on the back of it too. The card holder is rubber, different colors depending on which box you open. So far, I've seen black, green, red, and yellow. Oh, and blue. So I've seen 5 different colors so far.
You think there's like a chase variant?
Someone said they thought that there was, but since it hasn't,
or something like that?
We did some Googling, we couldn't find anything yet, but it also hasn't technically released yet. So we're like, well, maybe we'll get more details as it releases. All that being said, I don't know what to make of this because I think there's literally like 5 cards. There's not
just
a lot of variation
in existence.
Yeah, like as far as like the type of card, you can have parallels.
Okay.
But there are not more than 5 cards, is my understanding. Now, that being said, I should clarify 5 base cards because there are like autograph cards.
Got it. From the illustrator of the card, I'm guessing?
That's my understanding, exactly, yeah. So this is the 10th anniversary Labubu set that is honestly...
10th anniversary is crazy.
It's very high production as far as the release. The cards are the most chrome of any chrome I've ever seen. I was opening them, and I was looking at myself, staring at myself, because it was like a finished mirror on the card. So it's very pretty. It's a very nice card. No print line at all. Corners, edges, everything looks high quality. The problem, again, is just the fact you're only getting 5 cards, and there's only 5 different cards. So you really, what you want is a numbered card or some kind of rare parallel. I really want to know how many they made of this, and if it's not out of this world, like if they didn't make, 10,000 cases of this product, I think there could be some value long term on this because of the specifically for those parallel cards, like those lower numbered cards, because I had 10 boxes, I got nothing but refractors. Now, one was like there's a refractor, and then there's like a 10th anniversary refractor. So I got the 10th anniversary and just like a basic refractor. I didn't see a single numbered card. I've seen other people's videos. I haven't seen them open. I did go to eBay.
That's what I was.
And I did see a sale. So there's a sale from yesterday for one of them out of 50 that sold for $950.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'm really curious to see what this does. Again, this was another one of those where I'm not a big Labubu guy, so I'm not saying like I bought it as a big fan. I purposely thought, I think these could go up in value. I want to try and get some, hold on to them, because there are a lot of big Labubu fans. And one of the videos that I saw of someone opening it, they are not a card person. It was not a card account. It had like, I don't know, it just released. It had like 2,000 likes on it though, and it was all about how pretty it was in the different colored Labubu card holder. So all that being said, I decided, well, I'm going to hold on to that other half case for now. I'm just going to leave it sealed. We'll see what it does. I don't know. That all being said, I just want to give you guys an idea for what to expect with that Labubu. I think there may be a chance that some LCSs, some of your local card shops, might actually get some of this. Is kind of like rumor on the street. I don't know if that is, if they do, I think it'll be very limited. So
what did you sell your box for?
I was selling them for 120 because that's what it seemed to be going for on Dave and Adams, some other sites as well.
I'm looking at a Sparkle refractor numbered out of $499. It just sold for $200.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So yeah, take that for what it's worth, people. I don't really know exactly how to like promote this as far as like if you're into Labubu and you like collectibles, bam. You will not find a better option in the card world. If you are not into it and you just want to try and, press your luck, see if there's something that could happen over time. I honestly, I see some people like eBay has got like some of them are selling for around 75, but then you got like, I think a lot of them that are selling for 75, they may have like shipping and then you got tax. So you're still going to pay probably close to 100, if not more. Yeah. I'm not telling you to go out and buy it 100%, but I am not going to sell that other one for now. So I'll leave it at that.
Nice.
I wanted to give an update. So there has been a topic on this show very recently. Is there going to be a Topps Pokemon set in 2026? A 30th anniversary or some kind of Topps Pokemon collab set? I made a lot of claims of, hey, maybe, because based on these different facts that we know, like Sarah Natacheni signing those Topps labels. We know the 30th anniversary is coming up. We know Topps and Pokemon have done a set before. Ray has been very staunch that this will not happen. This will not happen. Granted, his reasoning I've questioned, but he's been very staunch about it. I have, for a fact,
For a fact.
I have for a fact the information.
Can we name names?
I won't name names. I'll just say it is a representative Topps that has confirmed. As of this time, there is no plans for a Topps Pokemon set. Sarah's autographs will be featured in some set that was not named. That was not named specifically, but they have confirmed there will not be a Topps Pokemon collab set in 2026 as of the time of this recording. So you were right. You got it right. Granted, your reason was still questionable, but you were right. So kudos.
This person, did you reach out? Did they reach out?
They reached out to let me know where they talked about it, and then I saw where they talked about it. So it's a whole thing.
Where did they talk about it?
Here's the thing. The information that I pulled this from specifically has a lot of information saying do not repeat, don't share, that kind of thing. Now, the reason why I'm saying this... Is it
out on the internet?
No, it's not for public. It's not for the public. If you have certain access to certain things, you can find out about it.
What kind of things?
You know what's interesting is our post did get named, so that's kind of cool. Like the post about this whole thing, starting it, was like named. It's like, hey, there's some social media posts going around saying this and that. I just want to, like, they
probably
just
need to talk to Sarah, first of all.
I think they know. I think they've talked to Sarah. She's still, like I said.
Is she in trouble?
No. Actually, I have no idea. I'm sure they wouldn't say anything to her other than, hey, maybe just in the future, don't. That is the bottom of it. There will not be, as of this time, a Pokemon Top set.
And how do you feel about that?
I kind of figured. I think your point about she being a voice on a Marvel show, so the what is it, the New Adventures of Spider-Man or something, or whatever the show on Disney Plus is. I think that was probably the best guess that I have heard as far as like what else it could be, because a lot of people said Alan and Ginter and things like that, and she's been in that before, and we already pointed out they don't usually use signed stickers, they usually do on-card autos, so that didn't make as much sense, but that idea makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Is that what the person at Topps told you also?
They did not. Okay. They did not. Our guest is here, though.
Let's go.
Let's bring our guest on, talk a little One Piece real quick. So we are now joined by Jerry Ellis of L's Cards. Jerry, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, thank you all for having me.
Now, I don't know if you remember, Ray said he has met you in person before at a card show. Does this fella look familiar?
Jerry's like always at the Antioch shows, at all the Pokemon shows. So he's, his booth is one of the best ones. He's got the lights. The prices are clearly marked on each and every one of the cards. So he does work. I can see it.
I can appreciate that. Are you local to the Middle Tennessee area, Jerry?
I'm actually out in Alabama, so I'm like an hour away.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wow, okay.
Huntsville area?
Yep, Huntsville area.
Man, I love Huntsville. It's grown up a lot since over the last few years. I've been down there quite a bit. The little rocket center down there, I don't like to brag about it. Did you go there in elementary school by chance?
No, I did not.
Man,
I didn't know you were such a Huntsville fan.
Oh, baby, I love Huntsville. I go there every summer.
The Trash Pandas? The baseball team?
I don't know.
Is that Huntsville, Jerry?
Do they have trash?
I want to say it might be the Trash Pandas is out here.
Oh man, I gotta catch a Trash Panda game.
It's like a rocket. The trash can is a rocket.
If you're not a big Huntsville fan, that means you've never been there. Okay, get down to Huntsville.
Okay.
All right, Jerry, we brought you on to talk specifically about Huntsville, but also One Piece. You're a big One Piece collector or reseller. What is your relationship with One Piece?
I do a little bit of both. I resell more than collecting. I started off originally with Pokemon, and then when One Piece came out 3-ish years ago, I started dabbling into One Piece, and I've been doing it ever since then.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you've been in it since it's had its beginnings to the point where we're at now, which would you say this is like the highest as far as value goes in that collectible?
By far. I mean, a lot of the cards within the last week doubled or tripled overnight.
Wow. So what the demand that you are seeing are you seeing this in person, not just online as well?
Yeah, in person, even at shows. I mean, I probably sell now an average of like 70% of my inventory I sell at Souls is now One Piece compared to it used to be flopped where I was selling more Pokemon than One Piece.
One Piece specifically is something that I know, like, there's been a show for I don't know how many seasons.
Anime.
I know it's the anime show. It's been on for many, many seasons, but they've just recently put it on, I guess, in a more Americanized version on Netflix as well. So it's gaining more popularity. What is it that One Piece, I guess, like, what is it that you appreciate, that you like? Have you watched the anime, or is it just the cards themselves? Yeah, tell me a little about it.
I've watched the anime. I'm still in the process of catching up just because it's over 1,000 episodes, but I do know what happened. And also I love the live action. I was kind of weary when they first announced it. But after watching it, they did a very good job with the live action. One Piece is, I tell people, if you can get past all the episodes, One Piece is probably one of the best animes you can watch out there.
Now I've watched Dragon Ball Z, and
far
that's
did you
about
get
it.
into that?
I've watched through like into the Boo saga, and I feel like I never got to finish it because I was watching it on like it was like on Cartoon Network back in the day after school, and I feel like I just got like I was going into high school and I just got busy, and it's like I actually got a life a little bit to where I was like, oh, I wasn't home to watch it, and we weren't recording.
Well, dude,
shows.
it would like randomly start over.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like,
So
and
it's
you would be
like-
like almost
it's like,
done,
what?
and you never got all the way through. Yeah. No, well, here's the thing. It's now on Dragon Ball Z Kai on Hulu / Disney Plus. I've been going back and watching it, but that's beside the point. We're not talking about Dragon Ball Z cards, which that is a subject for another day. One Piece is taking off specifically. You said individual cards are doubling, even tripling in value. Tell me this. What is something I need to know as a novice collector of One Piece cards? Like, are there certain characters? Are there certain parallels of cards? Or is it just, hey, you just got to know the individual card?
I would say you obviously have, the Luffy's, the Nami's, a lot of like the Straw Hat crew. A lot of those will always have value. But for like the rarity of cards right now, a lot of the SPs, the wanted posters, and obviously everybody knows the mangas are the three that a lot of, like, I guess newer people or even people who's doing it longer than me or as long as me, they're usually looking for those three: the SPs, the wanted posters, and the mangas. But those are your three safest routes to go, being new into One Piece.
If I had a One Piece wanted card of Luffy, what kind of value are we talking about right now? Like, what would you say one of the more expensive ones is?
The more expensive one is from, I want to say OPO5, if I remember correctly, the Gear 5, and that one's round about $800. And then one just came out in OPO13, a Luffy wanted, and that one's round about $300 to $350 right now.
Wow. Okay. And I know like TCG Player has like some lists of like most valuable cards, but that was done in September, and I feel like, would you say like from September to now, that's almost like not even applicable at this time?
With the recent surge of people getting into One Piece within the last, I would say 30 days, a lot of that stuff has changed. I mean, a lot of the cards, like I said, double, tripled, even, quadrupled in price. Originally, they were selling for $50, and now they're $300. So I think a lot of that probably changed now because a lot more people are getting into One Piece.
Yeah, go ahead,
Jerry. You mentioned OP5 and OP13.
Yeah.
For the people that don't know that, OP is the set, right? Like the
Yes.
different sets that come out. And does OP just mean One Piece set number 1, One Piece set number 2?
Yep.
So it's not like Pokemon where it's like the Skyridge set and the tag team set. And
Oh, I like that. That makes it real simple for me.
They still have names, like OPO5 is the Awakening of a New Era, but instead of saying the whole thing, a lot of One Piece people just go off of, the OP5, OP6, and that can dictate what set you're looking at. You're like, oh, I'm looking for, playable cards from OP13, and we already know, that's the last set, and then you go there. So it's usually based off of like OP13, OPO5, stuff like that.
how often do new sets get released?
I want to say it's every quarter. Don't might be wrong. The next set that comes out is in January, and that's OP14. I cannot remember the name off the top of my head. And then you have EBO3 that comes out in February, and that's a specialty set.
Oh,
Okay.
How often do they do specialty sets? Is that also about a quarter or?
Round about a quarter to every 6 months, roundabout. Because the last specialty set was EBO 2, no PRB 2. That was the last specialty set that came out around about like 2-3 months ago.
When did the first set come out? Do you know?
2022, 2023. I don't know off the top of my head exactly.
Okay. And the reason I ask is I guess that sounds like a similar cadence to Pokemon. If it's like 4 sets every year, and we're on like what you said 13, and you've been in it for about 3 years or something. So it would make me think, oh yeah, maybe somewhere close to either half a year or every 4 months you're seeing a set. The reason I ask that is just because there's only 13 main sets out there with a few, I guess, what do we call them, booster sets or specialty sets? Mm-hmm. If that's the case, there's not a lot of variety as far as comparing that to Pokemon as far as the amount of sets goes. So where can I actually find value? Because it feels like, everything would have jumped up because there's not really a lot out there to begin with.
I would say the value for One Piece, and I tell this to a lot of new people, it comes from the playability. A lot of the cards or value come from the playable cards. I say One Piece hasn't fully yet got to like the full collector standpoint like Pokemon. We have a lot of people collecting it. It is more players pretty much run the market as of right now for what is going to go up and what's going to go down.
If I am buying this because I think it's going to be a good investment, would you suggest any other sets besides like the OP1 set? Because obviously you would think, the first one out, that one's going to be more popular than others. Are there other sets that have been, stand out compared to the first?
The sets I would say would be OP05, OP09, 11, and 13. Those would be the 3 that I would say, or 4. I would say that if you're getting into One Piece and you don't want to go for OP01, which the booster boxes alone are going for $5,000 to $8,000.
Is OP13 the Carry On His Will set? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
That's the one. What is it? That Monkey D. Luffy card is like $8K or something stupid.
Yeah, the Red Luffy manga.
Oh,
that is insane to me. I didn't realize that they had that kind of value.
Just like the top 4 cards are like $1K plus.
Well, so what is the situation? Are these numbered cards? Are there parallels like there are in like the sport and other non-sport card sets, or is it just like more similar to Pokemon, where it's just like that is the card and they'll have just a smaller print run?
It just depends. They have like parallels. They have alternate arcs, just like Pokemon. The mangas are pretty much, I guess the alternate art or the enhanced version of the card. Same thing, just like Pokemon. For example, here I got one right in front of me. I just picked up this weekend. This one came from OP05, and this one is around about $6,000 to $7,000 raw. And it comes from OP05. So this is like the manga nice of OP05.
Wow.
This is like the Charizard. I want to tell people that got a lot of people into One Piece is this manga.
What is the name of that card? Is that a Luffy as well?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Monkey D. Luffy.
Oh, I see it here. Is that the Golden SP? Is that what they call it?
No, this one's just a regular alternate art. So they do have in PRB, they did do a reprint of it. And it has more verbiage on it. But the original one that I tell people, the OG, is roundabout last sold is like 5.9.
Gotcha. So back to like the number, do they have any cards that are actually say like, this is like the 1 of 1, or this is like 1 out of 10?
Serialized.
Do they serialize any cards?
Yes. So a lot of times, like when you go to like championships, a lot of players get serialized. It is a serialized Luffy that you can find. I don't remember what number it's out of, but they have like 1 out of 1,000, 1 out of 500. One that just came out was a numbered Zoro card that came out, I want to say like a month ago. And I think that one was roundabout out of 1,000. And then in, I want to say Thailand, they had these booster tins that came with a serialized Nami card that you could only get out of Thailand. I think it was Thailand, out of these booster tins.
And again, I apologize for comparing to Pokemon, but that's really all I think I have.
Same here.
But
we're noobs over here, Jerry,
for sure. But
that's why we wanted to have you on, because we wanted to ask all these important questions.
Absolutely, and that's my next question is, in the Pokemon world, as far as resale value goes, most of the time the English version is going to far outsell the Japanese version. I know, like, this first, I think, released in Japanese, but is that also the case that now English cards would outsell the Japanese version?
Yes. Generally, you're looking at maybe whatever the Japanese. So if the Japanese is going for 1,500, say a manga, a lot of times the English would be probably double. It's just Japanese here is harder to sell because outside of going to actual shows, there's no other place to sell it, except for like eBay. So like Pokemon, just an example, is once they opened up TCG Player where you can sell Japanese cards on there. So on TCG Player, it opened up, a lot more people got into Japanese. And I think once something like that happens with One Piece, I think One Piece Japanese probably will gain more value.
Right now, TCG Player does not offer a Japanese version on their site as far as to buy and sell.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Good to know. All right. Yeah, honestly, like, I feel like at this point, I'm more curious. Are we, the fact that we are talking about it, when it gets, a lot of times when the news gets to the point where it's like, oh, the people that know nothing about it are starting to hear about it, it's like almost hit its peak. It feels like it's like, oh, well, that's like the beginning of the downfall, is when, you know, grandma and grandpa start hearing about like 6, 7, you know, it's dead. And so
Yeah.
if we are at a point where the more novice collector is starting to hear like, oh, I need to get more into One Piece, do you feel like, oh, we're going to start seeing a decline in some of these values, or where do you think we are in that market cycle?
I think with One Piece now, I think One Piece has a little bit more time to grow. I think, and the reason why is, I think once the live action 2 comes out, I want to say in January, I think a lot more people is going to get back into One Piece, which will spike the prices up a little bit more. I think around about March, because EBO 3 is a big set that a lot of people are anticipating. So I think March roundabout time frame is when One Piece might start correcting itself a little bit more. But I think we still have like another month or 2, maybe 3 months of One Piece growing.
Tell me the characters' names again that I would want to watch out for that are like the bigger collector characters. So obviously Luffy, who is the main character. Who was the bad guy's name, and who are some of the other examples that I would want to keep an eye out for?
I'm trying to think. So some good ones. Everybody knows Luffy. You have Nami. You have Zoro. I'm trying to think of good characters. People like Katakuri. A lot of people like Katakuri. You got Puddin, Sugar. Trying to think of good cards that people usually go.
I saw one Gold D Roger. Is that?
Yep, Gold D Roger. Yep, that no, he won't. I won't say a bad guy. So in One Piece, he's like the I'm trying to think of the best way to explain it. The pirate of pirates. He was, the one that had the One Piece treasure. So,
but he's obviously like he's collectible in the card world.
Yep, they have a Gold D Roger. I want to say, I guess, manga that has gold on, like a gold foil on it, and it goes for, I want to say, a couple thousand. Yeah,
there's like I guess there's a market price of, it's just like 3,900 on a foil of that card. So yeah, I assume some of these prices may not be completely accurate, because I don't know if they're updated to today's prices or not. But yeah, the ones that I'm seeing are like the Monkey D Luffy, that Gold D Roger, Rebecca. A lot of these, the lady characters are scantily clad. I think is the best way to put that. I can imagine that there's a certain clientele that waifus are chasing some of these. But yeah, I think that at this point, if we know these basics, is there any other like basic collector mentality that someone who's brand new to this should know?
I would say Luffy's, go for Luffy's, Zoros. Okay. You can never go wrong with those. If you're getting into it for the reselling, learn the playability. That would help you out a lot. And the safe route I tell people is always SPs, mangas, and one-hit posters. That's probably the 3 tips I tell anybody trying to reselling wise or collecting wise. If you want to collect long term, if you go with those 3, you know, even if you keep them raw or if you keep them in tins or graded, SPs, one-hit posters, and mangas, you would never go wrong.
Nice. And then as far as grading goes, is like, I assume best resale value would probably be PSA. If I'm looking to check pricing on a card, am I going to TCG Player, eBay?
So a lot of people now use price charting or alt. And I would say it would bounce between PSA or Beckett. Like the Luffy I showed you here that I have, I'm probably going to end up sending that to Beckett due to that card. Say it pristine tins, it goes for around about $9,000. If it does black label, it might be $20,000. In the PSA 10, it goes around about $8,000.
Wow. So the black label obviously is what people are really hoping.
Perfect card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Jerry, I wanted to ask you a couple more questions before we get out of here. So for someone that's entering into the One Piece hobby that is a novice that maybe has a lot of expendable income, what would you say that are like the top 3 grails of One Piece cards?
That's a good one. I would say the Oda Sig. That came from OPO5. It has Oda, the original creator of One Piece. He has his gold signature on it. I would say this Luffy here is probably one of the other ones that a lot of people go after. And I would say this is the OPO5 manga. Yep. And yep, OPO5 is probably long term outside of the OPO1. OPO5 is probably the next set I would say hold long term. And then I would say after that is probably the Red Luffy. The reason why I put Red Luffy third is because OPO 13 is still out, and they're still printing OPO 13. But OPO 5 and OPO 1, they do not print it anymore.
Which one is Romance Dawn? Do you know? Is that OPO 5?
Oh, Romance Dawn is the first one.
That's that is number 1. Okay, because I was looking at TCG Player and I was trying to see, based on market price right now, what are people like? What's the most expensive? And it shows that as far as like that is the most expensive market price for a booster box case is Romance Dawn. Next one being Awakening of the New Era.
That's OPO5.
Which
that's OPO5.
That's OPO5. Okay. And then it's got, let me see. So Memorial Collection. It looks like that one. Oh, actually, I guess Premium Booster box case. Is Premium Booster actually the name of a set? It just.
Yeah. So that is PRB1. So with premium PRB, so you have PRB1 and PRB2. In PRB1, you're able to pull a God pack. So the reprint that I was talking, I think mentioned earlier about the manga that I have, that you was able to pull, I think it was 5 through 1. So it had a God pack that you could pull, and it had all the mangas in it.
That's got to be.
Is that the video that I keep seeing of? I think it was like Coops Collects was buying a pack off of Whatnot, and then they like noticed it was a God pack, and they like cut the stream.
Oh no way!
So that was OPO 13, and he pulled. They call it. It's another God pack in OPO 13, and it has all the gods from One Piece in it. And yeah, they realized that they pulled it because I think that set, the whole set, goes for around about $3,000-ish. And yeah, they swapped the cards out.
Wow, it sounds like a quality breaker.
I know.
You definitely want to be spending your time with that guy.
Jerry, I wanted to ask this last question, and this is probably the most important question of all of them, is seeing all these Pokemon collectors and even sports cards collectors and non-sports card collectors moving into the One Piece hobby because of the value on some of these cards. What's your take on that?
Oh man, I'm glad that people are getting into it. I truly am, because I've been doing it for years and it wasn't a lot of people into it. But the only downside is that everything's tripling and quadrupling, and it's jumping fast. So it's, when I go to shows and I'm buying One Piece, it's harder for me to buy it because $80 card that I was buying a month ago is now $400. So it's a lot harder to buy One Piece now. But I do like that a lot more people are getting into it, and I think every set, even, if you go back to Digimon or any kind of like TCG, it needs this peak where people are just getting into it. Pokemon had this peak, and I think One Piece needs that too to get more people into it.
Very nice.
I like that answer.
Jerry Ellis, L's Cards. Where can people find you? Like, what shows are you going to be up next? Do you have social media accounts that they can check you out at?
Yes. So this weekend I will be at Houston's PokeCon down there for a 3-day show. I also post on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. It is ELZCARDZ. You can find me there at L's Cards.
Awesome. Jerry, hey, thank you very much for taking a few minutes to come and jump on the show, educate us all novices a little bit better. So we really appreciate it.
No, thank y'all for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Jerry seems like a great guy.
Jerry, yeah, I think he could be our One Piece guy.
I love that. I need a One Piece guy in my life. And knowing like the Romance Dawn set, then the Awakening of the New Era, Premium, Booster, and then Memorial Collection. Those are going to be the top 4 according to TCG Player and according to Jerry. As far as if you're looking for wax, keep an eye out for that. Now, I will say this, and we didn't ask him, but I did notice on TCG Player as well, the Romance Dawn set, which again, I guess was the OP1.
OP1.
There's both a white version and a blue version. The Romance Dawn booster box case is the value's at $9,000 on the market. This is a Romance Dawn booster box, not case, but it does differentiate. It does say Wave 2 white versus Wave 1 blue.
Interesting.
Dang it, we didn't ask him that. Well,
I'm looking, that card that he just had that it was showing us from OP05, the alternate art manga. Why can't I say that?
I don't know. You've never been able to.
One more time.
Manga. Think of mango.
Manga.
Yeah.
I like that. The Awakening of a New Era. That card that he was showing us, PSA 10 that just sold on eBay, there's $8,700.
Jeez, that's crazy. Wow. So obviously One Piece is a thing. If you are in the know, which now you're a little bit better in the know than you were before listening to this episode, keep your eyes peeled. You never know, because I often think I can go into like a hobby shop or a sports card shop specifically, and they'll have something on there. And granted, at this point, hopefully every buyer or every shop knows, hey, double check your values on things, but some of them don't, and you might find a good deal on some of this stuff.
Can I ask you one more question before we move off the subject of One Piece?
You can ask me. I don't know if I'll have an answer, but yeah.
Well, after hearing what Jerry had to say, do you feel like you're missing out
on a resale value as a flipper, like on a flipper side of things, like that kind of mentality? Yes. I think but I also feel like, I'm not too concerned because I feel like I missed out. I feel like at this point, you
feel like the boat has sailed.
Well, for me, because I would be more of a surface hunter. I'm not going to do those deep dive looking for it. Like if I go to a show, I know the guys at the show already know the values, right? Like I don't think I'm going to find a killer deal unless I know specific cards to look for. Because I think like wax is much easier to price out and have an idea for. I think you probably could find some deals on individual cards, but that's why I was specifically asking, like, what are some of the bigger characters to kind of keep an eye out for? Because at the end of the day, if I'm actually wanting to get into it now, I think that's really the market or the area where you could maybe make a little, unless you were able to buy this at retail somewhere. New release.
Well, you can, like right now, you can go to Walmart and you can find packs of Carrying On His Will, the OP13, and possibly pull an $8,000 card.
I mean, that is
like, would
cool.
You want to open up a booster box and hopefully?
Yes, absolutely, I do. Are you offering?
I don't know. I don't know how.
Do you have one in your pocket? I want to do it. I mean, yes, I want to pull. If the question is, do I want to pull an $8,000 card? I guess
it is $300.
Oh, okay, that's better than I thought.
It comes with 6 leaders, 6 leaders, 45 commons, 30 uncommons, 26 rares, 10 super rares, 2 secret rares, 6 SPRs, 2 third anniversary cards, 1 treasure rare, and 1 Dawn card.
You know what we need? A video that would go very good on social media. It's similar to the one we did for Pokemon where you were talking about the pull rates. I would love to know pull rates for some of those more expensive One Piece cards. A few updates on some products coming out. Marvel Cinematic release. This is the Topps Marvel Cinematic product that we've been talking about. This is where they have the cards of the real-life actors and actresses. You've got autographs from Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds. All of those actors and actresses, they sign in this product. That was on December 23rd. That was the official release date. It got moved, I believe, to January 17th. And I was, excuse me,
Are you okay?
I'm getting choked up about this. I got very excited because I am going out of town from the 23rd to the 28th. And I was like,
23rd to the 28th.
Yeah, because I'm going to go.
Days?
Yeah, I'm visiting some family in Texas, and I was just like, oh,
not Huntsville.
That's not. I don't have family in Huntsville, but I plan on going back next summer. But the idea was like, oh, well, great. I'll be here to break on opening day when it's in January. Well, they decided it was for the best to move it back to December 23rd from January 17th.
Oh, no way.
So it's back on December 23rd. I'm devastated that I won't be here to break it opening day. I'll have product and I'll be ready for it. There's someone who wants like a personal case. I've got Breaker's Delight versions. I think I've got like 3 cases of Breaker's Delight and 5 cases of Hobby coming.
Oh.
So there will be breaks. I may not be there to break it opening day, but I will be there to break it eventually. Before a week is out from release, I will be there to break it. That all being said,
you can't reschedule your trip to Texas?
No, I can't. I'm already that's a family
break
trip.
It there.
I did think about like, oh, I could just, but then I can't ship it out because I'm not going to bring all of my shipping supplies and all that stuff. So,
oh man, we got to get you to do it.
Hey, maybe I need to think about well, we'll see. Well, there could be options, but all that being said, that date has changed. Pixar Gold release date has also changed. That was going to be
I love gold.
I love gold. That was going to be, I want to say this week, in fact. But that has changed. It is no longer going to be this week. It is now January 7th is the release date for that one. And then Hyperspace, I couldn't remember if this one changed or not, but that one comes out on December 30th, which I will be in town for that release date.
What about some WWE product? When's that coming out?
Supposedly, a couple products coming out early.
Cosmic?
Early in the new year. There's talk of like the royalty product that people know is coming. They're just not sure when. So I'm guessing that one and one other one I'm not sure of. But here's the thing. I don't care for the fact that we've got Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then Star Wars Hyperspace, being released within a week of each other. Ooh. That's going to cannibalize some of the sales, but it's also like,
you think so?
Yeah, because there's a lot
same person is buying both products.
I've got a lot of guys who buy into breaks with me who buy all non-sport. Really, they're nerds. Like, I mean, they're nerdy people like myself. Like us nerds enjoy Star Wars and we enjoy Marvel and we enjoy DC and we like a lot of these things. And that being said, there will be some who are they've been holding off for a Marvel product.
That makes sense.
Others who've been holding off for Star Wars products. So yeah, you've got some separate buyers too. But yeah, I wish we could have just a little bit more space in between, because then you've got Pixar Gold the week after that. I don't understand why we need to have these so close together. It does.
I wonder how Topps breaks up everything.
How they break up everything, like the releases.
I'm sure each product goes into like a separate category, like a separate hat, right? So it's like you have your sports fans and you have your wrestling fans and you have your Marvel fans and you have your Disney fans.
Yeah. I wish they would consider more about
like non-sports,
I do think,
like as a whole.
Yeah, I think if they viewed it more as a whole as opposed to like, oh, well, we're going to put basketball this week and then we'll put football the next week, because those are, two real different fandoms in there. And not to say there's not a lot of crossover between those, but I do think there's probably enough in that in collector pool to be able to, hey, we'll buy basketball this week, we'll buy football the next week, and everybody will be happy. I think when it comes to the non-sport card, you're going to have a lot more overlap and maybe not as big of a collector pool. So you could end up hurting the resale and or buying of those products. So that's just my thought. I want them to hire me as a consultant because I think I could really help Topps in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, hobby nonsense.
Just think about it, Topps. That's all I'm saying.
When is, I know this is a sports ball question, but Chrome NBA, Topps Chrome NBA, when is that coming out?
18th. So
18th of January?
Yeah.
December.
So we're recording this on December 15th. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comes out this week. It's going to be very big.
That's why I asked, because I feel like even like for myself, not being a sports collector very much, I'm looking forward to Topps NBA Chrome.
Well, I mean, I
don't even know if I said that right.
Topps Chrome NBA. Topps Chrome basketball is what I think the technical term for it. I actually have a case of Jumbo and I think a case of Breaker's Delight. Very nice offer to buy just one, because I was like, I think I might just hold this as like an investment.
Are they gonna have any mangas?
I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't seen a lot of non-sport crossover cards for that.
I bet there's something in there.
I'm sure there is. I mean, if they've been doing it for just about every other release. So, okay. So all that being said, those are your updates as far as product release changes. I did see the release date for Red Carpet being January 2nd. That Leaf product we said like a $10,000 product.
Do you think the box is going to be as nice as the Labubu box?
Well, it does have like electronic. It has lights in it, so it might be a little bit nicer. But I can't imagine a whole much unless it comes with like music playing, which that would be kind of cool. Like I did see the offer price, like for what they're offering to sell it to. You
saw it, but you can't get.
I can get it. So
at
what I found
offer price,
I did find out they still have some for sale, which actually kind of made me feel better in the sense of like, oh, I'm not insane. Like that's a really high price.
Yeah.
Like
I have no
contract or anything like that with them. $9,000 is what they're offering. So
wow.
Here's the thing.
Not much of a markup.
There's a and that's classic Leaf. That's how it is with Pop Century. It's with all of their products, really. It's like they do have like some things like the more you buy, I think you get some more discounts. But for a product like that is like you're tying up 10 grand almost to make 10%. And it's like, what other products are out there that I could do better as far as like a resale or a break or something like that? Buy a case
of OP13.
I mean, honestly. But yeah, that's the thing. I wonder how well that one's going to do. Last week and into this week, I've been doing a lot of breaks. Star Wars Galaxy has been a lot of fun. It is a beautiful card set.
I turn around and you're on there. Every night you're sleeping.
I didn't sleep much the last week.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I have.
You're insane.
I had an 18-hour break on Wednesday, and I had a 15-hour break on Friday. In that 72-hour period between like Wednesday night to Saturday morning, I think I had 9 hours of sleep roughly. It wasn't good because by Saturday I was seeing the effects of it. I was like so emotional. It was weird. Like granted, I did go to like a memorial of a family friend on Saturday. So I boohooed at that. And like where I'm like, don't look at me. And like, they're doing a slideshow, like on pictures and stuff. And I'm like, as a baby, I'm like in this guy's lap and like, there's one on like sitting next to him. And I'm just like, and I see this while I'm hugging his wife. Like I see this photo and I'm just like, I could not hold it together, but it was like I usually can. Like even if I'm emotional, I can like pull it together.
You're like,
but I'm just like, yeah. And that was the thing. I was also feeling like I don't even care. And I told my wife this later. I was like, I know I'm going to feel different from this, so I'm just going to tell you right now. It feels good. I kind of like feeling this kind of emotion because usually I'm dead inside. I don't feel like I don't wear my emotions on my sleeve so much as my compassion emotions, I guess you would say. So that being said, I've gotten more sleep. I feel a lot better. I will be breaking again on Tuesday. I will start in the afternoon, so it will not be as long of a break.
Are you breaking Star Wars Galaxy?
Star Wars Galaxy, yeah. I ended up getting...
Dang, you must have got a lot.
So I ended up getting 18 cases of it because I love it. It's such a cool set, and it's honestly, if you guys have not checked out the set yet, it is some of the best art, but also you've got like the cases have better than advertised hit rates as far as sketches and autos go. So that's really nice. I have pulled one superfractor. It was in a personal case. It was the Mandalorian superfractor, which was that's a big, awesome hit. But then there have been a lot of like these canvas sketches, which is like Lucasfilm animators who have drawn and made their own custom sketches. That has been really cool. But the just individual cards, it really is like, if you like a certain style or a certain character, there's probably a card in there for you. Like if you like an anime Luke Skywalker, there's an awesome one called Masterhood that I think is like underrated, and that one's very cool. But if you like more of a like there's a card called Confrontation, and then there's another card called The Confrontation. So you got a card called Confrontation, another one called The Confrontation. They're both Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker in a lightsaber duel, but one is like a color, just dark color one, and the other one's like a sepia tone one, and they just look so cool. It's one of the most artistic sets. Obviously, that's one of the reasons why people collect Galaxy, but it's also, I think people don't really realize, like up until recently when that 1977 Luke Skywalker set the new Star Wars record for like highest sale value, it was I think it was like what did we say, like over 200 maybe?
I can't remember.
But either ways, up until then, it was just recently at the National there was a record set for $100,000 for that was the most expensive Star Wars card ever sold, and it was from a card from Star Wars Galaxy from a couple of years ago. And that's the thing; it's just really cool artists making really cool artwork of these characters. So
I love that.
All that being said, yes, by the time you're hearing this, Tuesday will have passed because this releases on Wednesday mornings, but I will be breaking on Fanatics Live later in the week. And that being said, if you were already following Sports Cards Nonsense to break with us, you don't have to worry about it because you're still going to be following. You're just going to now see, instead of breaking under Sports Cards Nonsense, we will be breaking under Hobby Nonsense.
Let's go, baby.
We officially have the channel has been updated. It is under the Hobby Nonsense name. I've got you in the works to get added onto the new channel. I'm not even on the channel. I had to set it up under my wife's account because you can't be on two different accounts at the same time, and I still needed to be on the SCN one before I got moved over.
We'll get it figured out, guys. We're going to figure it out.
For everyone else who's getting into the breaks, you won't notice the difference. It's just something that we're working on our side. But anyways, if you're not already, come check out Fanatics Live. Hobby Nonsense is the channel name. It's going to be non-sport TCG 99% of the time.
Yeah, I got to do a better job breaking on there.
My goal is to make sure Ray is on there more, just for the TCG community, because I know
I would love to break One Piece on there.
Hey,
if I can I think
if you can find some, please and thank you. But that being said, I did want to this is like a little self promotion on the Star Wars Galaxy. Like I said, I do have some personal cases and stuff. I am doing personal cases right now at 3,600. If you do more than that, and the reason why I say do more than that, like who's going to buy more than that? I've had some people buying multiple personal cases. I've been ripping, which has been
can rip them and sell it to
there's a guy named. Well, I'm not going to give his name, but his name's Jim. I won't give his full name. Yeah, he's been a great guy. He been on there buying.
Jimothy?
We've been staying up till 2 a.m. ripping boxes and cases and stuff.
And
it's been
pillow fights and everything.
it's
telling ghost stories.
Where like if I was doing like a 9 to 5 job and I had to work like a 12, 14, 16 hour day, I'd be like, I hate this. I can't believe. But I can go literally the 16 or 18 hour break days.
And Jimmy,
I was having a great time. Well, I mean, him and a bunch of other people were in there, and it's just like I could do this all day if I just didn't require sleep.
Can I ask you how your family feels about you breaking for 18 hours?
Well, I try and make up for it.
You don't do it.
I don't do it all the time.
You don't do it all the time.
I don't do it every week.
Have to prep.
That week,
but just
was
like
a long week.
knowing that how you're gonna feel afterwards.
Yeah,
and then they almost have to like cater to you when you're doing this.
A little bit. There
are
you some
hungry?
Of that.
Do you want food? Have you been
stood up
water?
lately?
Yes.
Go walk around. Go stop getting blood clots. You're gonna stroke out. There is
How's
some
your
of
gal?
Yeah, exactly. there is some of that, and I'm trying to do better about that. And again, I make it a practice not to do this all the time. This product comes out once a year. There will probably be others where, yes, I'll probably stay up late and do things like that. But it's like, you know, if someone wants to spend $3,600 on a case or $300 on a box of this product, it's like, that's a lot of their money. I want to, you know, make it worth it for them. So I'm like trying to keep energy high, and I'm trying to keep as much lag in between breaks or as little lag in between breaks as I can. So yeah, it is a sacrifice in the short term, but then it's like, well, Friday I broke all day, but I made sure to wake up early, and I took my daughter out to breakfast. We went out and grabbed breakfast that morning, and
let's
then
go get that pancake special from McDonald's.
Oh, we went to Music City Diner, baby.
Okay.
Oh yeah, over by Sheps. We had to hit that.
What made you want to break everything all in one day and not like break it up into?
Well,
maybe
one,
like
it's like it's part of the market because it's like, well, it's in demand right now, and it's like, well, you know, strike while the iron's hot type of thing. But it's also where I would rather just do it all at once, and it's like, oh well, I'm streamlining everything. It's like, as opposed to, well, I got to set up another show, I got to like do another shipment. Like I can just do it all in one and then go from there. I will say the 95% payout special from DC Sports isn't hurting as well. The fact that any cards that we are hitting, because the resale has been actually really good. I'm actually very happy to see like some of these cards that are out of 50 and out of 99s doing like $70, $80, $100 in some cases, if not more. Well, and like the out of 50s, definitely. I think there's one that's like over $200 or something, because the out of 50 is a mojo fractor, and depending on which one, it can be very popular. All that being said, the resale is great, and again, that's why you want to be like early on with these, because yes, some will continue to go up in value, especially the more popular ones, but if not, you want to be first to market for the collectors who are collecting the full set or whatever the case may be. So, all right, that's Star Wars Galaxy. The other couple things I've got on here is some records set. You've got some notes here.
Yeah.
I've got a couple notes. The one, oh, and before we end this episode, there's one other thing we're going to talk about is the hobby awards that we'll be talking momentarily about. But before we get there, these records are pretty impressive for the non-sport and TCG community. Batman, 1966 Batman. We just posted, by the way. If you have not seen yet, there is a video on our YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. But there's a video where we ripped the Batman Metal Universe from Upper Deck. They sent us a box, and we're giving away all the cards to one of you. We're just asking that as you watch the video, tell us what's your favorite card that we pulled, and we will do a random giveaway to one of the comments. It's up there right now. But Batman being on topic, I guess Heritage Auctions did a 1966 Batman auction. There is a new record for the Batman. I think that's commonly referred to as the 1966 Batman Black Bat set. This is the one with like Batman with a red background. It's card number 1. It just sold for $131,000. So that is big new record. And that's as a PSA 9.
PSA 9?
I don't believe there is a PSA 10 of that card. I don't believe so.
Man.
So that set a new record. Then there is also a new record for the Robin, which is card number 2 in that set, or they call him Robin Boy Wonder specifically. That one sold for $62,000. So some really big
in a 9
records.
Or was that a 10?
That was a 10. That was a 10. Yeah. So just wanted to point those out. I love to see new records, especially when it's like, those are like grail cards, especially the Batman. Like that's a big, as far as Batman cards go, that is the biggest Batman. And that is just an iconic card in the non-sport world. I love to give more praise to our side of the collecting universe and make sure people know. So, but you had a couple other Pokemon sets, right?
We're talking about Heritage Auction. A record was set for a PSA 10 first edition Charizard at Heritage Auction that recently sold for $550,000. The last PSA 10 that sold at auction, now I don't believe it was with Heritage, but the last known sale for a PSA 10 first edition Charizard was $420,000.
Oh, wow. That's a big jump.
Yeah.
That's like what is that? That's a 25% increase?
And I was trying to find some information to see when the last sale of a Black Label first edition Charizard has sold.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find any information on that. So
really?
It could have been just private sales on that one.
Huh.
I would venture to say if one of those cards would ever come on the market.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. What do you like? At least $1 million.
I mean, you're the better expert than I am, so if that's what you think, I wouldn't be surprised.
As a non-expert,
I would think something around there. I mean, given the rarity, given the popularity, given the fact that you're seeing,
I don't know how many Black Label first edition. I should have looked it up. I don't know how many there are in existence, but there's not many. I would say maybe 7.
Actually, Card Ladder might have that. I'll look real quick. So that's a first edition
Charizard base set, or Black Label. So yeah, $550 at Heritage Auction.
Let me see. So that first edition holo.
Yeah.
Is it? Do I need to put shadowless or shadow?
No, if it's first edition,
that's it. That is it. Okay. I didn't know what I need to type in exactly, but let's see here. There's an SGC 10 pristine. According to Card Ladder, BGS has a 3 10 pristines, but I don't see any Black Labels.
There's some out there.
There are some?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
because Logan Paul has one.
He has a Black Label?
He has a Black Label. Do you know the story?
The story of Logan Paul's card?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So there's this, So there's this guy out there. His name is Gary. They call him King Pokemon.
Oh, I know that guy. Yeah.
Okay, so he buys a PSA 10 from Gary.
Okay.
And he wanted a Black Label from Gary, but he couldn't get it.
Okay.
And so then later, I can't remember if it was at a WWE event or a boxing event, but Logan Paul shows up with the card on a chain, and it's a Beckett Black Label. So he cracked the 10, sent it into Beckett, and got a Black Label from Gary's card.
Really?
Yeah. So Gary, I can't remember. He was at a Collecticon, and they had Gary open up a box of first edition Pokemon cards.
I think I saw this.
And he
kind of he was opening them in a way
that
made it seem like he was trying to make sure they were not going to gem.
Correct.
Yeah, I think there was suspicion of he kind of has cornered the market in a lot of those Charizard 10s.
Yes.
He doesn't want there to be others, so he's opening this thing like an animal.
Like an animal.
Like where he's pulling it out without pulling the full wrapper off.
Dude, people wear gloves when they open them, and he's just manhandling this box.
Yeah. As someone who's been criticized for the way I was holding cards before, which, to be fair, they've come out to be pristine. That being said, I know how ruthless the internet can be as far as that goes, but it's hard to defend when you watch that video of how he was pulling those out.
And at first, I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt. It's oh, he's old, whatever. But then I'm like, wait a second.
No excuses, sir.
But did you find any information at all?
I have not found one, but I've seen a picture of a 1999 Pokemon First Edition base set Charizard Holo as a CGC 10 pristine. I have not seen a black label as of yet.
But I did want to move on to the next subject while you search for that.
Please.
A record trade-in has been made at GameStop.
Ooh.
Where someone came in and traded in their PSA 10 Sky Ridge Gengar.
Okay.
And they received 90% of the value.
Which honestly, doesn't sound terrible.
It's amazing. And they received $30,000.
So a 90% payout, usually
it was valued at 32 or 33.
A lot of people are like, well, I pay 80% of comps, and people are typically accepting of that. And you think, oh, well, 90%, that's really good. But a lot of times that's for cards that are more widely seen. When it comes to higher end cards, 80% might not necessarily be a good deal. 90%, especially if you're wanting cash fast, I think that's pretty...
I don't know. And I don't know if they received cash. I don't think they did. It was probably like a check.
Well, yeah,
or an ACH, something like that.
Sure, but
that I really wanted to bring this subject up because, you know, GameStop are doing their power packs online or whatever, and this is probably going to go into one. And I can't remember what their... I want to say it's called their Lunar Pack, which is the most expensive pack, and they can pull, you know, something up to that value. But I wanted to bring this up because I think that it's really nice to at least have this option. Like if you were short on cash,
sure,
and you knew you had let's say just like a $5,000 card in your collection, and you're like, man, instead of me trying to find somebody liquid cash, they can say, hey, do you want to buy this card from me?
Yeah.
And ask all these people. I can just go to GameStop.
Yeah.
Honestly, and they can give me like if it's 90%, that's super reasonable. And less than an hour, I can have that 10 G's that I need to, you know, pay the medical bill, or, you know, maybe I get in a wreck and I need a new car or something.
Yeah.
To where I can liquidate that card and get cash into my bank account and do whatever I want with it.
I agree. And here's the thing. My only question is, I wonder how long it actually took to get to that point. I wonder if it was like hey, I brought it in and that day they gave me an offer, or if it was like, hey, when we reach cards of a certain value, we need to run it by like, you know, an actuary team, or we need to talk to, you know, these certain people before we do anything. And it's like, hey, why don't you come back, or, you know, we'll call you in the next couple of days and let you know.
Do we know anybody from do we have any kind of representation from GameStop? I would love to have somebody from GameStop and called
as well. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure we could probably, I'm sure there's some resource that has a connection over there that I could probably get in contact with, especially because the president of the company commented on one of our videos before. Like, granted, it was kind of a negative viewpoint of GameStop, and he commented on it, but he was very kind about that comment. But yeah, maybe we can always try.
Who was the president? What was his name? Or her name?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, but yeah, we need to have a GameStop representation on the show. That's all I got, Mr. Gibson.
The last thing before we end the show, this is something that we are going to do. I think the plan is we'd like to do this on the last episode of the year, which would come out on the 31st. We would record it on the 29th.
You know what else we could do?
What's that?
Maybe we can do a special episode.
Oh, like special, really? Maybe. Well, you know what?
We can wear tuxedos. You can wear a top hat. You can break out the cane.
See, here's the thing. I love that. That's year 2 stuff for sure. For year 1, given the fact that I'm going to be gone in a week from now for a week, and then we only have like 2 days to record after that, I think we might not be able to do it, but we will at least in 2 episodes from now, we're going to do the poppies. This is an idea from Matsy. He came up with this idea and he shot it over to me. He said, we should do like an award thing for non-sports, for pop cards, for pop culture, entertainment. And I decided, you know, we'll throw in a little TCG in there as well. Ray and I are putting together a Google form so that you guys can kind of like give us an idea for what you think is, say, the best overall non-sports set, or the best movie set.
These are some of the categories that Jesse's naming.
Exactly. Yeah. So some of the things that we are working on categories. The official ones will be in the link that I'll end up posting.
Can you give us a little bit of
best overall non-sport card set. I've got like a few different things in there, and it'll be like, you know, top Star Wars galaxy, and maybe antiquities, and maybe you know, that's another thing where it's like, well, do you do the best Star Wars set? Do you do the best Marvel set? Or you just do, I think you have to have a best overall set, of course.
Correct.
And you can take one of each. Like Disney Chrome could be in there. You could have Pop Century, or maybe another.
It's like the Oscars, you know, you got your best action movie, your best animated movie, and then they can be nominated for best film.
So that being said, I also have to see if there's a way to do like a write-in option as well. I'm sure there is like a write-in, because it's like, I'm going to throw in some options in here, and if there's another one that's, you know, people definitively say, oh, that's the better option, then that's what we'll go with.
Gotcha.
But anyways, there will be a release of this survey that we want to go out to the hobby, especially those non-sport collectors, to see what do you think, like the best TV-based card set, the best movie-based card set, the best TCG, the best Pokemon set in 2025 was. And, you know, a few other categories as well. It'll probably be 10 total categories, so it won't be huge. It'll be fun. I think this could be the start of something that we could really push going into the next year as well.
I agree.
So we're calling it the Poppy Awards.
The Poppy Awards.
The Poppies, however you want to pluralize that. But yeah, that is something.
Sports Boy and Solar Ray host the 2025 Poppy Awards.
Well,
brought to you by our good friends over at DC Sports 87.
Well, and now that we've signed up with the parent account of SCN Network, we'll have a couple other little sponsors here and there as well that we'll be able to promote as we go. But DC will always have that special place in our heart.
And they're the consigners to the stars.
Consigner to the stars. Here's the description that I'm guaranteeing Ray wrote word for word, and it was not AI at all. It says, the Poppies are the awards celebrating the very best in non-sport trading cards, from iconic pop culture releases to legendary chase cards and the standout sets. The Poppies honor what collectors actually care about: creativity, nostalgia, and impact on the hobby. Built by collectors for collectors, the Poppies recognize the cards and moments that define the year in non-sports cards. I like it a lot. So we'll use something like that.
Poppies, ladies and gentlemen. Where can they vote on the Poppies?
Well, once the form is done, we'll post it all over socials. It'll be more than likely I'll probably put the link in both the Facebook the links group. In Instagram. I'll put it in the Non-Sports Cards Nonsense Facebook group. We'll put it in a few different places so people can access it. We want to hear from you.
You can talk about it tomorrow when you break Star Wars Galaxy.
Boom, bam. Absolutely, I could. So, all that being said, that is your show. Thank you guys again.
It's a loaded show, ladies and gentlemen.
Appreciate you all as usual. If you do not mind, I have a different request than usual. Usually it's hey, can you follow? Can you subscribe? Can you like? All those things really help us out. Here's my special request for the podcast. Whether you're watching the YouTube version or you're listening to the audio version, can you share it with someone? Can you share it with somebody you think might enjoy it?
Love that.
I honestly, to watch the graph, we are the graph continues to go up and to the right, which is what you want. The lows keep getting lower. The lows keep getting higher. Depends on how you want to view that. But basically, it's a good thing. The trajectory is going very well. And I'm just thinking, well, to really get it out there, I want people who enjoy this pod to share it with someone else so that they can learn about it. So all that being said, if you guys don't mind, that would be the ask of the week. Thank you if you've listened to this point. We will be back next week. Signing out. This is Sports Boy.
And this is Solar Ray.